Hi, Riley. Hyterra announced a strategic plan built around three pillars late last year. I now note with interest a release this week saying you've production testing is in the works at your McCoy-1 well at your Kansas project. Tell me more about that and how it fits into the strategic plan.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. We announced our strategic plan last year. Pillar one is to commercialise our Kansas project. So we drilled three wells last year. The next step in that is production testing, which is what we've just announced. Now we've been through with our technical team the three wells, and through that process we've selected McCoy as the best one to do this production testing process.
And why did you choose McCoy-1?
It had the best results from the rock sample analysis and the initial flow rates. The one thing that's positive is McCoy-1 was the one well that wasn't twinned, so we twinned two wells, and then this was the step out from known occurrences in the past based on what we had built as our model. So it's encouraging that that is the well that we think is the best to do the production testing on. Now, the idea of the production testing, it'll give us a good idea of what the natural flow rates and concentrations of the gas that we can get to surface are. Now, that's the natural side. We are also working with Alexis Templeton. We announced her appointment as an advisor. She's an expert in sort of the generated, stimulated or engineered hydrogen. So we've sent some samples from McCoy to her to test for the generation potential. So the idea is at the end of this process, we'll have, on the one side, an idea of what naturally flows from the well, and on the other hand, through Alexis, what you can stimulate from the well, which will give us a holistic view of that well, which will then drive, further decisions on further appraisal, optimization of the project, further drilling in Kansas, and then, feed into our must-haves, which are driving our decisions on where else in the US we look to expand and drill.
I just thought it probably worth pausing for a second, Riley, and stopping on the fact that Hyterra is looking to lead the global race when it comes to natural hydrogen, hydrogen that is naturally produced by the earth. When we're talking engineering, we're not graduating into man-made or sort of manufactured hydrogen. It's still natural hydrogen, isn't it?
It's still, we have a plan, ideally it's naturally accumulating. We think that there is a world where you can increase the flow rates through the use of technologies. There are multiple technologies out there. Alexis is an expert in water chemistry and that's one way, but she's also, she has all the technology and the testing to see what's possible to generate out of rock samples. So the idea of that is, yes, hopefully it just flows and you have a natural project, but if that's not the case, or if you can increase the flow rates through stimulation using different technologies, then that's only a bonus.
So it's clear to me you've got an established plan that you're following through now at your Kansas project, Nemaha. You touched on the fact that you're also looking further afield and looking at copying and dragging your technology and IP and understanding of natural hydrogen across to other territories in the US. How's that progressing?
Yeah, so we've got our must-haves rule book, which is continually evolving. So this production testing will keep tweaking what we learn about the subsurface and how the rocks behave. But pillar two is to use those learnings in that rule book to expand into other US states. So we're actively looking at multiple states at the moment. There's a lot of work going on there. Hopefully that will, these things take time, but we are confident we will have opportunities that are solidified in the near term. And equally, we're looking at international opportunities and multiple international opportunities on the same basis. So it's taking what we've learned and hotspotting areas that we think we should expand to and would be hugely value driving for the company.
Yes, so just recapping, pillar one being the expansion or into commercialization in Kansas, the Nemaha Project. Pillar two being expansion across America, expanding what and applying it to other areas in the United States. And pillar three being the international sort of looking at things on an international scale. It all sort of it all sort of marries up to a pretty exciting sort of playbook for Hyterra, in my view, Riley.
Yeah, it does. And, we're being disciplined about it. So we know, we need to, there's only so much we can bite off at one time, but building a portfolio of high graded opportunities and then being disciplined about ensuring, that we're comfortable with which ones we pursue to the next stage is the key focus at the moment. It means we are being methodical, not rushing into anything, but it does mean that we are confident that the opportunities that get through to the next stage and that we execute on will be the right opportunities for us.
Well, I'll certainly be watching the Hyterra unfold very closely and look forward to it.
Thanks, Gareth.